So today is the day. It is the third annual ADHD AF Day, Friday the 25th of October 2024, where we paint the world leopard print once again to raise ADHD awareness and get the world to hear us roar. If you would like to join in, all you have to do is wear leopard print, take a selfie or video sharing what you would most like the world to know about ADHD. Then you just tag ADHD AF podcast, hashtag ADHD AF Day, and I will reshare all of your posts and we can unite to get the world to hear us roar. So please do join us online right now. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. Friday the 25th of October, Leopard Print Army Assemble! So, in celebration, I am sharing this very special clip. I have got you, not just backstage passes, but back in time to Flackstock Festival in July of this year, where myself and Steph of All the Discos, my partner in ADHD AF Emporium, which is a marketplace championing neurodivergent makers and small businesses, we had our own bloody tent at Flackstock Festival. The festival hosted by the friends and family of Caroline Flack to raise mental health awareness and raise funds for her favourite charities. And there is no other festival like it on earth. The message of it is be kind. It is such an incredible festival. And we were not only honoured to be a part of it, we are absolutely honoured to be part of it again next year. Throughout the day, we had all different ADHD AF podcast guests being interviewed, raising ADHD awareness, singing karaoke, doing Vogue workshops, burlesque workshops, all sorts. I also had the Leopard Print Army with me, not just the members of the ADHDAF online peer support community who could physically come, but I asked people to share with me the very question that I've been sharing this whole month in those mini episodes. What would they most like the world to know? Community legend Tracy put them all together on wonderful rainbow leopard print displays, which we had hung up all over the tent. And as the grand finale, I read them aloud. So that's what you're about to hear. So come with me to Flackstock Festival, a very special moment that I have not been able to get to the end of listening to without bawling my eyes out. So this is very special to me, having just done a little half an hour ADHD AF bingo segment in that tent the year before, which in itself I was so proud of, to have the entire tent for the whole day. Not just be championing neurodivergent makers, but to be roaring our message out of ADHD awareness to the general public at a mainstream festival. I still can't believe it. And I really can't believe that we get to do it all again next year. So come with me to Flackstock Festival. We're going back in time, but do bear in mind, the sound quality isn't great. It's recorded at a festival. So the sound quality is great for a festival. I actually really like it because I'm literally reliving it as I listen to it. But yeah, with the wonderful session services, tried to clean it up and literally it just made my voice sound even more ridiculous than it already does, completely underwater and warped and everything else. So you just have the background noise. But you might remember I shared in a previous episode about how at the end it was particularly special to me because I realised that it ended on the song that I was waiting to hear, which reminds me of a time with a friend who is no longer with us. So it felt incredibly serendipitous, as often things have on this podcast, on this ridiculous safari. Anyway, I'll wind my neck in now. Well, actually, I won't. You're going to listen to more of me talking, but past me talking. Future me is head to toe in leopard print. Actually, past me was as well, but it's ADHD AF Day. Shut up, Laura. Join me online for this very special day. Let's unite and get the world to hear us roar. Head to ADHD AF podcast on socials and let's turn the world leopard print once again.
I'd like to say thank you very much to everybody who's come here today to come and see this absolutely ridiculous ADHD awareness raising, to everyone who has supported our makers, myself included, and Steph of All the Discos. We're super grateful. You've supported neurodivergent makers today, independent small businesses in the UK. Stephanie's limbering up for the final countdown, which is how we always close the Emporium. So the Emporium has been an amalgamation of the two sides of my life. So I've done a peer support community. And we've been through thick and thin, times are tough, but here we are. And some of the wonderful community members have shared some information here with me today to help me raise ADHD awareness at Flackstock Festival. So, I mean, it is an ADHDer's tendency to sometimes go into quite a lot of detail. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read what each of them would like the world to know about ADHD. So, this is from Louise. I would like the world to know that ADHD is different for every person, also every day and every hour. We will always have it, even if it's not obvious to others, it's still there. So Louise was our wonderful Louise. Okay, so Olivia and Kent would like people to know that it's not a trend and it's not just hyperactive little boys. Down straight. So, Steph, who is here or was here, she said, ADHD is real. Sometimes you can't see people's struggles because they've learned to mask them so well all their lives in order to fit into a world not made for us. Please understand that we are always trying our absolute best and feeling like we are failing, and it's exhausting. Having ADHD doesn't make you less of a person. You're brilliant just as you are. Jen says, not everyone is a bit ADHD, and even those who are not all the same. ADHD is like ice cream. Not all of us are the same flavour. Just like rum and raisin is nothing like strawberry. Still ice cream, but really darn different. Absolutely. So this is from our Tracy, who gave us an amazing talk. Donate to the late bloomers on Facebook. Check out the group. I would like the world to know how unfair it is that we have a postcode lottery in place and that people shouldn't be having to reach crisis point to be put on a 5+ year waiting list for medication that will not only change but in some cases save their lives. I've masked my entire life and was existing rather than living due to not feeling worthy of being me. Understanding my ADHD and taking my medication has changed everything, and everyone should be entitled to that. Amen to that. Our lovely Ruth, Dicky Roo, lovely darling. The one thing I would like people to know is that someone's brain can be going at 1,000,000 miles an hour on the outside. They can seem calm and organised. I don't know, what's that like? So this one is from Yaz, our Yaz in Birmingham. She says, I want the world to know that it does not matter how many times you try to tell me to buy a planner, go to bed on time, just leave 5 minutes early, that I should be able to do this. I will still have ADHD, and if you try to make me fit into your vision of success and normal, it's going to end in failure. But that's your failure, not mine. Okay, we're going to be here a little while, so let's jump ourselves in. No, I'm joking. So our lovely Claire says, I want everyone to know that ADHD isn't just being diagnosed. It's more than needing a planner. I also want everyone to know we are trying our hardest all the time, and we are exhausted. 1 second. If you suspect ADHD, says Archibald, chances are high. Don't hesitate, doubt yourself, or feel like an imposter. Pursue assessment, you won't regret it. There we go. Aunt Bonnie in East Yorkshire says, I'd like the world to know that you can have ADHD and be quiet, shy, and appear calm. You can have ADHD and not be bouncing around, but instead unable to get out of bed. You can have ADHD without a hyperactive body, but with a hyperactive mind. And you can have a career, a family, and success with ADHD. It's just hard. The wonderful Kim Pierpoint. Don't lick me, Kim Pierpoint.
Don't lick me, Kim!
Menopause and ADHD can have overlapping symptoms. As your hormones change during perimenopause, your existing undiagnosed ADHD symptoms will start to worsen. So we've got Kirsty in. Kirsty! Sorry, Kirsty, I can't use. That's Kirsty! She would like the world to know that we aren't looking for a label. We are looking for answers. I went round in circles for years, not understanding what was wrong with me, knowing they weren't getting it right, and I'm 1 in 4, most of us late diagnosed not the norm. Early diagnosis saves lives, particularly in girls and women. It stops here. Cornelia! Our lovely Cornelia is here.
Just read the first two.
Just read Raymond. I want people to know so much about ADHD. If you've met one person with ADHD, you've met one person with ADHD, as it presents differently in everyone. The genetic evidence around ADHD is astounding. If you have it, start observing your family. I would bet that you are not the only one with ADHD. ADD is an outdated term. Some with ADHD have hyperactive behaviours and some don't, but the term is ADHD either way. ADHD is officially diagnosed as predominantly inattentive ADHD or hyperactive impulsive or combined. Thank you, Cornelia. Robin in Camden says, it's not what you think it is. And for those that say everyone's a bit ADHD, if only this was true for those of us that have it, it's not a little bit, it's all the bloody time and it's exhausting. And Maria in Vienna says, I want the world to know that ADHD can show up in ways you least expect it, and that even though knowing why you're doing something ridiculous, you probably can't just not do it. Jen in Surrey says, ADHD isn't linear and there is no cure, and all of us with it struggle in different ways with different tasks, and there are so many comorbidities. Also, hormones can make symptoms worsen. Woo! It's our Donna! Right, Donnie says, I can be too much for many, but I will always put you first. You will never be bored, and I would love to show you why I'm nicknamed Dancing Donna. I keep it to kitchen dancing these days. I'm in the life and soul of the party, but I like to switch. I will leave suddenly before the end to go home, where I'm alone and it's quiet. And this is where I've earned the nickname Disappearing Donna. If you made it this far, amazing. Right, we've also got our Lucy, who is here today from Sussex. Okay. I wouldn't change being ADHD, but would like the world to wake up to accepting and understanding that people who are wonky brained is not a bad thing. Without us and our different thinking ways, humanity would have already failed quite some years ago. We've got Tony in Liverpool says, I would like people to know how hurtful it is when people question your diagnosis. That would never happen with other conditions. Somebody says they've got arthritis. Have you got a diagnosis? Who would ask that question? Would you care? You wouldn't care. Lovely Eve says, I am fairly newly diagnosed. I'm still learning a lot. I would like society acceptance that it's not a trend, so that I'd feel safer speaking about it. Once you know, you start to understand that impact infiltrates every aspect of your life, so it's really important we gain understanding. It's life-changing to know for me. I have been able to start making baby steps towards helping myself instead of fighting all the time. Wonderful. Kate is here. We've got another ice cream analogy. I love it. ADHD is such an umbrella term as it presents unbelievably different in every individual. Whilst traits are often relatable, how it manifests is completely unique, like our personalities in general. To simplify, if ADHD was ice cream, think how many flavours there are. We might all be ice cream, but pistachio tastes very different to, say, bubblegum. Then throw in sprinkles, flakes, sauce, cone or pot. Comorbidity options also. Remember, if you know someone with ADHD, that's one presentation or flavour, but we can all feel a connection being in the same ice cream parlour. I love it. Our lovely Jill is here from Birmingham. So, Jill would like the world to know that ADHD is that racing thought and decision paralysis can result in what appears to others to be inactivity or laziness, when in fact additional effort is needed to start or switch tasks, which means a lot of energy is used before a task is started. Or in other words, we are not lazy, our brains just work differently. Absolutely. Okay, we've got Jenny who says ADHD isn't just little boys who can't sit still. It's people who throw themselves into drink and drugs. It's people who are constantly depressed. It's people pleasers, it's creatives, it's different things all around you. Stop judging us by someone's stereotype from the 90s and think that actually knowing will tell the story. masking every day. Look at all these people. This is just a handful of people. We really are in a global ADHD diagnosis crisis. This is a monumental moment of mass awareness that is being dismissed as mere mass hysteria by the press. ADHD is not a trend, it's very common, and people with it, if they are supported, can lead very happy and successful lives. But if it is left unidentified and society doesn't open its eyes to what's going on and support these people, it is a very dangerous condition. So we are all in this together, and we can unite together and join our voices to raise